Welcome to the AI Bridge. Today I'm talking with Aryan Parashar, a master's student at NTNU in Industrial Economics and Technology Management, and the founder of Lixergy, an energy startup here in Norway. We are going to talk about how he balances his studies and building a company, how he actually uses AI in both, and his advice for students who want to do something similar. Aryan, great to have you here. Let's
Thank you
start
for
with
having me.
your story. How did you end up doing industrial economics plus power engineering and starting Lixergy actually? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct or not.
Yeah, it's Lixer. It's correct. So my study is industrial economics and technology management, the full form, where I'm specializing within electrical power engineering. It was really a choice based on that I want to combine both engineering together with economics because I have a really deep interest in both of those fields. So I looked at the choices I had, and I thought. Induc at NTNU was the best fit for me. So that was how I went about picking what I want to study. And yeah, that was all I think.
And when did Lixergy starts? Before or during NTNU?
It was during NTNU. It was about 1 year. Yeah, about a year ago. Me and my friend Daniel, we founded Lixergy.
That really sounds great. I mean, what Lixergy exactly do?
Yeah, so Lixergy is a startup focused on developing a novel and patentable technology or process, you could say, for extracting and recycling lithium from both primary and secondary sources. So, for example, from spent lithium-ion batteries and from geothermal brine as also. So it's really about making a cheaper, faster, and a more sustainable way of producing lithium.
Yeah, sustainability is in the top radar of everyone, and
Mm.
it's good that you guys, even though you are still in engineering and you are thinking about it, that actually assures us that we have a good future.
Yeah, thank you.
What is the hardest part of being a student plus founder?
I think the hardest part is probably being able to balance with regard to time, being able to balance having assignments together with doing research at the lab. We've been lucky enough that NTNU really supports young founders such as us, and they actually uh, have given us access to their labs so that we don't need to pay for other companies to do lab work. Yeah, NTNU have been really supportive of our startup, and they've really provided us resources and facilities to do the research we need to do.
It's really nice. How about how are you using AI tools as a master's student? Because this channel is also about how students spacely are approaching AI tools.
Yeah, so I think one of the most common ways students use AI would probably be to help with understanding. For example, if there is a topic at school, which especially in third, fourth, and the fifth year of university, it could be really niche topics, really small topics, which there isn't much resources for available on the internet. AI could be a very nice tool to be able to learn these topics in a new way, or maybe in a way which is easier than what the book teaches.
How do you think it's different than Google search?
It really gives us the exact thing we want to know. Instead of searching a more broader term in Google, you could go to AI and write exactly what you want to know. You could give AI your, for example, parts of your textbook and say, "This is exactly what I want to know. Tell me this in a way I would understand as a student." I've seen that a lot of academic books and academic papers. There's a lot of the term is, I believe, academic jargon, which is just overcomplicated words, which has no students don't can't understand either way. So to learn, I think ChatGPT is a very good, you could say, assistant.
But people are also talking about using the right prompt. So, have you heard about this prompt engineering, and do you actually use that technique while searching in ChatGPT?
I think for me personally, up until this point, I think ChatGPT has, and also Gemini, both of those, I've been able to write good enough prompts to reach the level of answers I want to get. But of course, prompt engineering is also very relevant and very important to not send AI in the in the wrong course, and then you have to start correcting it to get it back on the right course again. I understand that it could be useful, but as of now, I don't really use. I've heard some people use one AI to write the prompts and then copy and paste it into ChatGPT, for example. But
I do
I've
that
not
all the
really.
time.
I up until this point, I've not really had any use for it, but probably in the future.
Have you used the deep research part of these tools? Because they use different models
Mm,
behind the scene, and you can
yeah.
actually choose those model. Like I personally use a lot of Perplexity and the deep research part of Perplexity. So,
Mm.
have you used the deep research to work on thesis or something?
Yeah, so actually, while doing some chemistry research for a startup, I'm no chemistry student. I'm no chemist. It was challenging to understand and to find the correct papers which were relevant for what we were doing. So the deep research part of ChatGPT, I think, used it to first of all find some academically relevant papers. Um, and also maybe to make it highlight or tell me what parts of the paper, which could be well over 100 to 1,000 pages long, what parts are the most relevant. And of course, I don't just blindly trust ChatGPT. It's made told me wrong things a lot of times. So I'm always a bit critical to what it says, but I've seen for the past couple of months, it's really improved.
Yeah, and the problem with these AI tools is whether it's right or wrong. It's always say that confidently. You must use this way. Yeah. Uh, can you walk me through a real example where you have used ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or anything for your class or a project?
Yeah, so I think the perfect example for that would be last exam season. In one of our subjects, didn't really have access to a lot of exam papers or previous exam papers to try to study for the exam and what kind of questions would be relevant to study for. So I downloaded the whole class book or pensum book as a PDF, sent that to ChatGPT together with the two, I think, exam papers which we had, which the professors provided. And I asked ChatGPT to make exam papers and make mock exams, and so that I can, so that I have more resources available and feel more confident for the exam. And funnily enough, when I actually took the exam, many of the ChatGPT's questions, which were just based on our book and two previous exams, they were very relevant to the actual exam. So I believe that that's one of the best use cases I've had for ChatGPT.
Hmm. But so, if you were not allowed to use AI for 1 week, which part of the study or startup work would hurt the most?
I think definitely with regards to time, it has spared me many hours in both reading and also many hours of research and searching on Google. So I think I would probably have a lot less time during the week if I didn't have access to any AI tools.
That's interesting. So you are saying that actually it gives a lot of productivity
Very much.
boost to students.
Very much, yeah. And instead of go because in at NTNU, for example, we have time slots for where student assistants can come and help us with assignments we have. But we've seen the past couple of years that a lot less students go to these help sessions because many of us don't feel that the student assistants can help us much more than ChatGPT can. So it really spares us a lot of time.
Hmm, never thought about it. Thanks for sharing.
of course.
Do you use AI differently for coursework versus your startup, or is it exactly same?
I think for my when I use it for my startup especially, it's important to keep IP protected. And I've heard some incidents where, or I don't even know if it's true, but I've been really careful not to share too much confidential material, or I keep our IP protected. That's the main difference between coursework and work for Lixergy.
Hmm. Have you thought about using some models installed locally? I don't know if that is available at your university or not, because those models can be installed locally and then
Hmm.
it's very safe.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure. I haven't heard about NTNU giving or providing us any types of local AI models. And I
Mhm.
also think they would be pretty, because at NTNU they have really cracked down and tried to use AI detection tools, etc., which are also faulty at many times. They say that somebody has used AI when they haven't used AI. So I don't really think that NTNU would be that positive to using AI, or providing AI locally at least.
Okay, but do NTNU professors know the student use AI? What's their stance on it? Is it
Yeah,
allowed or?
I mean, I hope they know that we use AI for some coursework. Yeah. But when we deliver assignments, especially I think the last 2 years or the last year, we've had to also provide a AI declaration form if we have used AI, where we have used it, how we have used it, which AIs we have used, which models, etc. So I think they now, especially, they have started to understand that AI is not, it's not something they can ban from school, because everyone, if there is a lazy way of doing something, most people will do it that way. I really like comparing it to the invention of calculators, because when calculators first were invented, teachers used to say that students should not use them because they won't always have a calculator in their pocket when they grow up. But now look at us, all of us have phones. We don't need to do arithmetic in our heads anymore. So I think in the same way, AI also shouldn't be demonized, or shouldn't be banned, you could say, from universities.
But I was looking into some study where some uh, teacher were talking about whether using too much AI actually diminishes your thinking power. And because we also have a GPT, and the way they were approaching this topic is it's okay to use AI, but should not be relying too much on it, which means we must challenge the AI and don't stop our thinking process when interacting with AI. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think I've been very lucky that AI wasn't introduced to me during my primary school days, because I think it's very important for children to learn a basic set of skills, how to, and also be able to see if AI is doing the wrong thing. That's something which not all people are capable of doing. So it's important to have that basic knowledge of whatever you're doing. For example, in math class, for 2 years ago maybe, I could see if AI was, or if ChatGPT was giving me the wrong answer, because I knew that this is a illegal thing in math. You can't do this in math. So it's important to not be 100% dependent on AI for doing everything. You also need to, as I said before, always be critical to what it says, challenge it on different things, and ask it for sources also.
Yeah, and sometimes it also hallucinate.
Yeah, something it makes its own sources.
Yeah, but mainly you would say you have used Gemini and ChatGPT, which means now both of them knows your personality well, which means
Uh,
now they can have a memory about you and give you a better personalized answer. Is that
yeah.
correct?
Probably. I mean, ask ChatGPT to tell me everything it knows about me, and it's pretty accurate. But I think, of course, when I talk to ChatGPT, I'm not always talking as I would to my friends. So I think keeping our I know a lot of people who use ChatGPT as their personal psychologist as well. They tell it all of their life problems, and but I like to keep it a bit more professional with ChatGPT in case something goes wrong and a lot of data leaks or anything. It's safer that way, I think.
But have you tried asking ChatGPT what's your weakness, and the way you're prompting or the way you talk to ChatGPT, have you asked and see if actually it can pinpoint correctly your weakness or your
I've not actually tried that, but I that sounds very interesting. I will try that.
yeah,
It would
try to
probably give
say
me, yeah.
good. I think we have talked a lot about AI. Let's
Mm,
go to your entrepreneurship thing. What
yeah.
problem is Lixergy solving?
Yeah, so the way lithium is extracted right now, it's unsustainable. It releases a lot of CO2 gases, a lot of CHD, CHG gases, and it's also uses a lot of chemicals in many ways, especially the hydrometallurgical processes. So the problem we are addressing is that in the future, lithium ion batteries will be a lot more demanded. And if we don't have good and cheap, sustainable ways of producing those batteries and also being able to handle used batteries, then we will be in a lot of problems because there are both economic problems and also environmental problems. And we are also seeing that, especially the EU is subsidizing a lot of these types of green endeavors, green startups. And that's why we saw a hole in the market or vacuum in the market exactly there.
And how much of NTNU learning applies to this startup?
I would say in my first semester of NTNU, I had a chemistry course, but then again, I don't really think those types of courses are really made for. I think it teaches the students how to learn, not doesn't teach them a lot about or in depth about the actual topic they are learning. So I think I've had to do a lot of learning in my spare time and a lot of research in my spare time. I would say maybe 10 to 15, maybe that's being generous, percent of my NTNU subjects have been applicable for Lixergy.
Okay. And have you used AI for research, for market research or pitches, etc.? So if you have to do a sales pitch somewhere, have you used ChatGPT there?
I think for market research, for the like just initial market research, just to see who competitors who are subsidizing these types of projects, just the initial part, we use ChatGPT, but afterwards we realized that ChatGPT isn't really a good tool for market research. It just gives us what we want to hear. It says that, yeah, there's no competition. It's very easy that you'll succeed. It's no problem. But we need to have critical, if ChatGPT could be a lot more critical and realistic, then we would probably use it more.
But I think if you use the deep research models, then you get a lot of, because then it actually starts thinking. If you're not using deep research, it's fast, but it's not thinking that much. And
Hmm.
Atlas for research, earlier I used Manus AI a lot, and it was a real good tool. So if you want to even research on some company, if you're using Manus AI, it's really nice. Now I think
Hmm.
it's bought by some company. But it's still perplexity deep research is quite good. It can actually go look into all that. It also gives you all the sources and how it has come to a conclusion, what thinking it has done.
Yeah.
I think, but of course, the vanilla chat GPT will not give you that. And
No.
for chat GPT, if I remember correctly, the deep research module is or model is not free.
Yeah. Yeah. It's use the ChatGPT plus model for all school and lecture purposes.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I will be 26. Hopefully, I've finished my degree. Probably, if all goes well, Lixergy probably will be in its pilot plant phase. Hopefully, I'm working with something between the energy sector and financial sector.
Skills that matters most for your generation. What would you say?
I think a skill that is very undervalued in our generation is probably people skills. Being able to socialize well, being able to be perceived the way you want to be perceived, being able to talk freely, being able to talk confidently. Those are things that I have seen that lack in our generation. That could be partly because of the internet also, but uh, those are skills that will take you very far, I think. Being able to be confident in the way you speak, being able to convey and being able to tell other people what you are thinking. That's very important. Communications.
I totally agree. It's something which is lacking, but at the same time, I would say in our generation, that was not part of the school's curriculum. But nowadays, presentation and other skills are part of the school normal syllabus. So at least they are looking into it, but it's still because of internet and a lot of other things. And being in Norway, of course, it's less population that also impacts.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
so, what extra steps you are taking to actually socialize more?
So here in Norway or here in Trondheim, where I'm studying, I've been a part of a group called ISAT, which is in the Indian Student Association in Trondheim. Through that, I met a lot of people, a lot of Indians as well. And outside of ISAT, I've been good at making new friends and also being able to keep old friends. When I go back to Oslo, meet up with my friends from high school and also primary school also. So yeah, I think that's very important, especially here in Norway, being able to or having people to talk to, having people who have known you for a while.
It's so nice to hear that you are actually giving effort on these things.
Uh, it's a
What
balance.
advice you would give for students thinking about starting a company?
I would say it's very important to just start the company, talk to people. That's also very important because you don't know what doors can open by talking to people. In our case, we started to send emails to some chemistry professors, and then they referred us to other professors, and through like three or four referrals, we finally got to the professor, who has been supervising our project. His name is Professor Odne Burheim, and he was the one who gave us access to the labs, etc. So always having open eyes, open ears, being welcoming to people, telling people about your company, not keeping it to yourself. That's very important.
Now, the next round, let's play a rapid fire round. So,
Okay.
just favorite AI tool,
ChatGPT,
best AI use case in energy sector,
energy distribution and planning.
any book or resource recommendation.
I really like the book What Went Wrong with Capitalism. That's a nice book.
And you are so interested on the financial part as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought it at the airport on the way back from India one time last summer. It was very interesting read.
It was so nice to talk to you, Aryan.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you so
Very nice.
much
Thank you for inviting me.
and all the best for your future. And
Thank
I
you.
hope
You as well.
Lixergy will soon be a North Star.
Hope so as well.
Bye.
All right. Goodbye.